Can I ask you a tough question here? Staying on the ring of power, Elon is quickly becoming the most powerful human on Earth.
I'm not sure about that.
You don't think he is?
Well, he doesn't have the nukes, so.
Nukes. Yeah, there's different definitions and perspectives on power, right?
Yep.
How can he or Donald Trump avoid the corrupting aspects of this power?
I mean, I think the danger is there with power. It's flat out there. I would say with Elon, I mean, we'll see. I would say with Elon, and I would say, by the way, overwhelmingly, I would say so far so good. I'm extremely, extremely thrilled by what he's done on almost every front for the last 30 years. But including all this stuff recently, I think he's been a real hero on a lot of topics where we needed to see heroism. But look, I would say, I guess the sort of case that he has this level of power is some combination of the money and the proximity to the president, and obviously both of those are instruments of power. The counter argument to that is, I do think a lot of how Elon is causing change in the world right now. I mean, there's the companies he's running directly where I think he's doing very well, and we're investors in multiple of them and doing very well. But I think a lot of the stuff that gets people mad at him is it's the social and political stuff, and it's his statements, and then it's the downstream effects of his statements. So for example, it's for the last couple of weeks, it's been him kind of weighing in on this rape gang scandal, this organized child rape thing in the UK. And it's actually it's a preference cascade. It's one of these things where people knew there was a problem, they weren't willing to talk about it. It kind of got suppressed, and then Elon brought it up, and then all of a sudden, there's now in the UK this massive explosion of basically open conversation about it for the first time, and it's like this catalyzing. All of a sudden, everybody's kind of woken up and being like, "Oh my God, this is really bad," and there will be now pretty clearly big changes as a result. So. And Elon was, he played the role of the boy who said the emperor has no clothes, right? But here's the thing. Here's my point. He said it about something that was true, right? And so had he said it about something that was false, he would get no credit for it. He wouldn't deserve any credit for it. But he said something that was true. And by the way, everybody over there instantly they were like, "Oh yeah, he's right." Right? Nobody seriously said. They're just arguing the details now. So number one, it's okay, he says true things, and so it's okay, how far? I'll put it this way, how worried are we about somebody becoming corrupt by virtue of their power being that they get to speak the truth? And I guess I would say, especially in the last decade of what we've been through, where everybody's been lying all the time about everything, I'd say I think we should run this experiment as hard as we can to get people to tell the truth. And so I don't feel that bad about that. And then the money side, this rapidly gets into the money and politics question. And the money and politics question is this very interesting question because it seems like there's a clear-cut case that the more money in politics, the worse things are, and the more corrupted the system is. That was a very popular topic of public conversation up until 2016, when Hillary outspent Trump 3-1 and lost. You'll notice that money in politics has almost vanished as a topic in the last 8 years. And once again, Trump spent Kamala raised and spent $1.5 billion on top of what Biden had spent. So they were at, I don't know, something like $3 billion total. And Trump, I think, spent, again, a third or a fourth of that. And so the money in politics kind of topic has kind of vanished from the popular conversation in the last 8 years. It has come back a little bit now that Elon is spending. But again, it's okay, he's spending. But the data would seem to indicate at least in the last 8 years, that money doesn't win the political battles. It's actually the voters actually have a voice and they actually exercise it and they don't just listen to ads. And so again, there I would say yeah, clearly there's some power there, but I don't know if it's I don't know if it's some I don't know if it's some weapon that he can just turn on and use in a definitive way.
And I don't know if there's parallels there, but I could also say just on a human level, he has a good heart. And I interact with a lot of powerful people, and that's not always the case. So that's a good thing there.
Yeah.
If we can draw parallels to the Hobbit or whatever, who gets to put on the ring?
Frodo,
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, maybe one of the lessons of Lord of the Rings, right, is even Frodo would have been, corrupted, right? But nevertheless, you had somebody who could do what it took at the time. The thing that I find just so amazing about the Elon phenomenon and all the critiques is, the one thing that everybody in our societies universally agrees on, because of our post-Christian egalitarian. So we live in sort of this post-secularized Christian context in the West now, and it's we consider Christianity kind of backwards, but we still believe essentially all the same things. We just dress them up in sort of fake science. So the one thing that we're all taught from early is that the best people in the world are the people who care about all of humanity, right? And we venerate, all of our figures are people who care about all of, Jesus cared about all of humanity. Gandhi cared about all of humanity. Martin Luther King cared about all of humanity. Like it's the person who cares the most about everybody. And with Elon, you have a guy who literally he talks about this constantly, and he talks about exactly the same in private. He is operating on behalf of all of humanity to try to get us to, he goes through to get us to be multiplanetary civilization so that we can survive a strike on any one planet, so that we can extend the light of human consciousness into the world and, into the universe and have it persist, and the good of the whole thing. And like literally the critique is, yeah, we want you to care about all of humanity, but not like that.
Yeah. All the critics, all the surface turmoil of the critics will be forgotten.
Yeah, I think that's clear.